It's only been a week, and boy, I've got some news, and some of it's a bit of a doozy. In fact, there's a scam to protect you from scams. Yeah. KDP rolls out updates for digital narration. Oh, man. Amazon reimbursing Kindle Vella tokens at the end of the month. Also, Apple announces tax changes for certain regions. And the U.S. Copyright Office releases the second part in an AI report and other relevant news for events and deals that are happening for authors just like you. All that in the self-publishing news for February the 10th, 2025. Before we do jump into things, I want to give a big shout out to the fine sponsors over at Book Award Pro. It's how you get accolades for your book. These accolades can be book awards, Amazon reviews, editorial reviews. You can find great reviews and awards, enter for the accolades, and story marketing and validation so you can do right within your dashboard. Love me some Book Award Pro. I've been using them for a few years now. I've already had over 42 book reviews, 42 book awards, for 12 different publications, all that because of Book Award Pro. Right now, currently, I actually use the Essential plan for wide publishing for authors, but all of my other books are inside the free plan, so then I can kind of cherry pick all of the different reviews and awards opportunities I have available to me. I can decide whether that's worth my time or not so much worth my time. The Essentials plan gets me all the book awards that I want to, and I usually will pay more for a boost, and a boost is where Book Award Pro will submit your book for a book award on your behalf. Love that part because I just don't like messing with any of that extra work. You want more details about Book Award Pro, visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/bookawardpro. And while we're talking about book awards, it seems that the fine folks over at Publish Drive actually launched the Ultimate Guide to 2025 Book Awards for independent publishers and authors. So if you're curious about some of the book awards that are available to you, oh my gosh, this is an extensive list. Those that are watching me right now on YouTube can see that I'm scrolling through all the stuff. It is a ton. We're talking dozens of options. But you're going to have to go sift through that. And if you're not using a service like Book Award Pro, well, good luck on that one. Hopefully you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for. Now, I started out with the hour here with a very interesting piece of news. I said a scam to protect you from book scams. What is going on, man? I don't even know what's going on now because Writer Beware just released this piece. All right, now, those who aren't familiar, Writer Beware is like a watchdog for authors. They watch out for all these different writing and publishing scams that are out there. And apparently there is a new service that's anti-scam protection, but boy, is it scammy, according to what Victoria Strauss shared in her latest publication, in which you're essentially paying for insurance to cover you on scams, but this seems scammy. Oh my, what is going on here? Apparently, like, the scammers are just like, you know what? I think the mafia got it right. We'll go ahead and get people to pay us insurance so we don't rob them or hold them up. What? How is this happening? Like, really, I think that, and there's been so many times that I just try to put a bullhorn on these types of scams, and this is one of those ones. Don't pay for anti-scam insurance. It's just, there's somebody out there that has paid for it, and I feel for you. You should see about just getting a charge back on something like that. And there's so many things that they're able to kind of point out, from the fact that their Meet Our Team section it's got it has royalty-free stock images that are put in there for the people that are quote unquote on their team. Oh, really? Because apparently that person that's on your team also appears on a number of other websites. There are just so many issues with this that I just don't even want to dig too far into it. You want to read the full piece, go ahead. Links inside the description as per usual. Got some notes coming out from the fine folks over at Amazon KDP, Amazon more specifically in the very next piece of news. And they want to let those of you know that if you happen to have done a virtual voice, one of their digital voices, that now their virtual voice beta access has had an upgrade. They have improved the quality of their virtual voices. To bring this improved quality to listeners, we're automatically updating your live audiobook below to the latest quality. So TLDR on this one right here, if you have already been part of the KDP digital voice narration in beta, and you've published something, then this would apply to you. Now, in the event that you do not have the digital voices option inside your dashboard, you can request access. I've put a link to the original article that you can go and apply for that. I applied for it, and within a few months, I got access to it. Now, am I going to put it on all my books? No. I was testing it out on a book that I was working on with a Dibbly Create project that was pretty much written by AI. So I was like, you know what? Might as well go ahead and just get AI to narrate the book, and let's see how that goes. And which, by the way, it's had some modest results. But it's kind of cool to see that they're constantly improving their digital voices. And so with that improvement, hopefully we'll see better conversions and more readers coming back for more and more and more. Now, I've covered this over the last several weeks, and that is Kindle Vella is winding down here, folks. In fact, they even said, this is reader facing. We've made the difficult decision to bring Kindle Vella to a close on February 26th, 2025. Now, if you've already bought any episodes with Kindle Vella as a reader, you'll keep those episodes forever, indefinitely. It'll be yours. They're not going to take that out of your library. It's yours. Now, the event of having tokens that you haven't used yet, I wish I would have read this before, because I just started using my tokens on random people's episodes. I was like, yeah, you look like you're good. Lock, unlock, unlock, unlock. Because I bought a bunch of them. But after I became jaded with the fact that it was just it wasn't for me, I just kind of let the tokens expire. Or I'm going to let the tokens expire. Well, good news is those tokens will not expire. I know. I built all that up just to tell you it does not expire, because February 26th is when they're going to close the program down. And it says, what if I have unused tokens for after Kindle Vella closes? They said, we'll reach out to you in March if you have any paid tokens left over. At that time, we will automatically credit your account balance with an Amazon.com gift card in an equal amount to the value of your remaining paid tokens. So that's cool. I get a little bit of money back. In the meantime, if you happen to be a Kindle Vella author, hit me over on Discord. If you have any type of science fiction or horror stories, I want to go ahead and pick it up. So let me know over inside Discord, and I'll use up the rest of my tokens there. And whatever is left over, I'll have them, I don't know, throw pennies at me, because pretty much I've got 461 tokens left at this point. Moving a little further forward in the news, Apple Books for Authors wants to let you know that there's a tax update for books sold in Peru, Slovakia, Finland, and Japan. Effective February 6th, sales through Apple Books in these countries will be adjusted to reflect the tax changes listed below. Peru's value-added tax introduction of 18%. Slovakia will actually have a decrease of VAT from 20% to 5%. That's nice. Finland has an increase of VAT rate from 10 to 14%. Tax updates for April as a result of last year's changes in Japan's tax regulations. Apple is now designated as a specified platform operator by the Japan Tax Authority. In accordance with the regulations, the following tax changes will be introduced April 1st of 2025. All non-Japan-based provider sales in Japan will be subject to the platform tax regime, and Apple will collect and remit a 10% JCT to the National Tax Agency, Japan. Moving a little further forward, I actually reported about this, I think, about a week or two ago, but now there's a second piece out coming from the U.S. Copyright Office about AI. It's AI report. What should authors know about this? All right, let me go ahead and just give you the TLDR, the summary of the situation here at this point. U.S. Copyright Office will not copyright your artificial intelligence written book. If it's just straight AI, they won't copyright it at this point. But there are some shades of gray. So in the instance, let's say for instance that you use AI to help you brainstorm your book, or to help outline your book, or do research for your book. It is not necessary to disclose the use of artificial intelligence. It's when AI actually generates the text that you run into issues. Now, not to be confused with programs like Pro Writing Aid or Grammarly or any of the other ones that are just like that. You can still use those ones, but when you're having generative AI write a bulk of the content, then that's AI generated and they won't copyright it. But let's just say, for instance, that you have a hybrid style. Let's say, I don't know, there was a gentleman I interviewed a while back on Ross Brand's channel where he actually had an entire book with the exception of one chapter that was written by AI. That one chapter he wrote himself, everything else done by AI. In that event, he could copyright that chapter. Everything else outside of that, no. So there are many of these things that they covered in the past 2 pieces on the U.S. Copyright Office piece. I would highly recommend go in, read it. It is a pretty lengthy piece. It's going to take a good few minutes, and you're going to probably want a glass of water because it's a fairly dry piece, but at least you have a better understanding if you're currently using AI, if you can copyright it or if you cannot copyright it. It's interesting to see how this kind of spills out over the coming years, and I'll definitely keep you abreast of the whole situation. Let's switch over into the deals, steals, and events here. Fine folks over at Miblart are offering 14% off your romance cover design or anything that's romance adjacent, if you will. 14% off using Love Cover 14. That's 14. Love Cover 14. This is good until February the 14th. So make sure you use it over at my affiliate link, dalelinks.com/Miblart. Links inside the description as per usual. And of course, GetCovers, it's a sister company of Miblart, is also doing their own sale up to the 14th. If you are doing romance or any of its subgenres, you can use Romance 20, that's 20, to get 20% off your cover. That is actually a pretty dang good deal. All right. Folks over at Get Authentic Book Reviews just rolled out an email out to everybody. If you happen to be getting book reviews through Get Authentic Book Reviews, you should definitely pay attention. Recently, we received questions on what to do when a book you selected and read deserves a low-rated review. First, it is essential to clarify. Essentially, what they're telling you is when you post a review, they want you to have a 100% honest review. But in the event that you run into a publication that is not good or to your taste, you don't feel right about punching down on somebody at a 1-star or 2-star review, you could still be able to submit that review on Amazon. But let's say you don't want to. You're like, nah, I don't know about that. You could still submit that to Get Authentic Book Reviews. In this case, they said, please email the Authentic team at contact@getauthenticbookreviews.com with your rating and feedback, which should be at least 150 words. Provide enough content to help the author improve their book. We will provide you a link to post on books being reviewed to complete your assignment, and you will immediately receive your points. And see, that's the thing, is when you're doing a lot of these review exchange platforms like Get Authentic Book Reviews or Gemsy or Book Bounty or Pubbie, is usually you have to provide the review in order to get your points. But in this instance, Get Authentic Book Reviews are like, hey, if you just provide a review so that way we have context, we'll still be able to credit you. If you happen to be picking up any of my books, by the way, please feel 100% comfortable in posting the review that you feel is necessary for that. If it's 1-star, great. If it's 2-star, great. If it's 5-star, that's fantastic. It's great. But I want you to always put your views and don't feel ashamed about what you're going to give someone for a rating. Speaking of review exchange platforms, Book Bounty also had another announcement that came out. Book Bounty is very much similar to Get Authentic Book Reviews, that you can be able to get all your book reviews in one place here. They want to let you know new features dropping now. We just made everyone Amazon safer. So back in December, we made changes to keep up with Amazon's community guidelines because staying Amazon safe is our top priority, but we didn't just stop at the bare minimum. We went above and beyond to make sure you're even more secure while using Book Bounty. So essentially, instead of them sending out notifications as soon as somebody posts a review and giving you like a clip of that review, they don't provide that anymore, because what Book Bounty is trying to do is maintain 100% anonymity of the person who's leaving the review. So Amazon doesn't want you to be able to know this person, because if you know this person, that indicates bias, or it can also lead to coercion, if you will. Like, you better leave a review or else I'm going to take your ham sandwich. Don't take that person's ham sandwich, by the way. That's not a nice thing. And they also offer the same thing as what Get Authentic Book Reviews does, in that they want to make sure that they maintain that anonymity. But to stay compliant, they have to, they'll no longer be able to display the stuff. All right. And in the event that you find that a specific review isn't working out for you, you can actually use the editorial review of that and post it over inside Amazon Author Central. And they actually have a tutorial for that. Big shout out to Kevin. I'm actually going to be having him on the main channel this month. We're going to be talking a little bit more about bookbounty.com. All right, moving a little further forward, if you happen to be a member of the Alliance of Independent Authors, they're going to be having a member Q&A on February 24th. That's at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. It will be hosted by Maddie Dalrymple and have Mark Coker. He is the founder of Smashwords and also the CSO over at Drafted Digital. I almost lost it there for a second there. Mark is a legend in this business and someone that you can definitely learn a lot from. If you're not a member of Ally, I still highly recommend you join Ally. Even if it's to see this particular Q&A on February 24th, remember, there are so many other perks of being an Ally member. You can go take a look at them over at dalelinks.com/ally. That's ALLI. Moving a little further forward, there's a webinar being hosted by Authors Guild. A lot of people wanted to know a little bit more about Created by Humans. So they're going to be doing a webinar, 100% free, February the 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That's AI Rights Licensing 101 with Created by Humans. You'll learn what AI rights are and why they matter, how AI companies use books and written content, and how the Created by Humans platform can help you take control of your work's AI rights. And the Written Word Media folks are going to be starting a speaker series with one of their founders, Ferol Vernon, on February 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. In this session, Ferol Vernon, COO of Written Word Media, will share a simple yet powerful framework to help authors succeed. You'll learn how to confidently define your vision, set meaningful quarterly goals, track progress using key metrics, and overcome obstacles that stand in your way. That's on February 13th at 12 p.m. And speaking of February the 11th, at 12:15 p.m., I'm actually going to be hosting Audit My Ads with the fine man himself, Vincent B. Davis. I don't say that fine as in like I guess he's probably good looking. Hopefully Vincent doesn't hold that against me for saying that. But that'll be on February the 11th. If you would like to get an expert to look at your ads, you'll want to make sure that you submit to the form. I got a Google form up over at dalelinks.com/auditmyads. But you will submit some screenshots, you'll answer some questions. It'll probably take you about 10-15 minutes to answer the questionnaire, but we're going to be going live again Tuesday. That will be tomorrow, and if you're listening to this on the audio podcast, it'll be today. That'll be February the 11th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. Going a little further forward, on Wednesday, that will be February 12th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Daytime. Actually going to be hosting a podcast, an interview with a good friend of mine, Tina Dietz, where she's going to be sharing a little bit more about how to turn your podcast into a book. And 6 authors versus 1 imposter. This is something I've just kind of tickled a little bit over in Discord, and there wasn't too much interest, so I'm going to bring it up again here. We've extended the deadline to February 20th of 2025. Michael Laron and I are going to be hosting our own little quote-unquote game show called 6 versus 1, where we're going to have 6 authors and 1 imposter. So there's going to be 7 people all in a virtual space, and everybody needs to figure out who is the imposter. There is going to be some prizes for those that win in this particular one, and the only way to win is if you apply. It's going to take you about roughly 15 minutes to fill out the form. You will need to submit some video. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can just take your cell phone and shoot it. You can take your flip phone and shoot it. That's fine, just as long as we have proof that you're able to get on camera. But you can get that over at dalelinks.com/6v1. And one last shout out to the fine folks over at Book Award Pro. They have helped me get scores of awards. I am very, very happy. In fact, my Amazon Self-Publisher series has gotten altogether 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different awards over the years. So you can get that type of access if you go on over to dalelinks.com/bookawardpro. What do you think about some of these pieces of news? Let me know when you join me on over inside the Discord community at dalelinks.com/discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll catch you next week. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.